So let's begin to do the garter stitch. So I cast on and I went from the back to the front. So what I want to do this time is that I want to go from the front to the back to do a going across, and then I'm gonna come when I go back across from back to front again. So put this yarn in front of the project, and what you want to do is that you want to take the yarn, working yarn, and you want to feed it through the loop and pull it from the front to the back side. So laying down this yarn in front, it gets a lot easier. So you're just gonna feed it through the loops like this. And this is going to create a line that is in the front of the project. And we have a tutorial available in the future of showing you how this really does a nice job of doing some stitch work. So your final one right here, keeping it, make sure that you get it from the right side from front to back. So once you're done across, it's like any other ones, you just want to grab the loops and kind of tug on it. So from the back side you can see how the stoppers in between each one of the loops kind of force it to position itself properly. So now I want to go in the other direction. So you want to make sure these are not twisted in any kind of weird way. So make sure they're not. Now to do a twist, it is a stitch, but it's not for this one. So what we want to do is that we want to go back across now from back to front. So just put the yarn from the back side, take the next available loop and come from the front, or sorry, back from the front to the front. And again, if the yarn is sitting in front of it, you can just scoop it up and just pull in each loop as you go. So this is the garter stitch, and it's a really quite an easy one to do, and it's a very conventional way of knitting. Most people that when they go to start knitting for the very first time end up doing the garter stitch. The nice thing about this particular product is that once you get used to feeling your way around the loops, it gets a lot faster. So for tutorial reasons I'm slower than I technically would be if I was doing it without the camera on me. Once you get all the way to the end, just take the loops, tug up on them, make sure that there's no weird twists happening in them, and if there is a twist, just make sure that you just untwist anything that you need in order to make it work. So then we're gonna go in the other direction, so that means that we're gonna come from the front back to the back. So just put the yarn in front, the next available loop, go from the front to the back, and then just lay it across, and then you can just scoop it up and pull it to the back. So this is how you do the garter stitch, and we're gonna be doing some other ones in the future. We have a twisted garter stitch that's available to you. It gives a completely different look as well. It's actually really quite amazing. I talked to the designer on the phone, and she was explaining it to me, and once you know, it's nice to read instructions, but it's even better to hear it from somebody's voice better to actually have any questions that you may have. So once you're done, just tuck up on all your loops and you're good to go. So this is how you would do the garter stitch.